Hello my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today I'm going to be talking about Iron Kissed by Patricia Briggs, and this is book 3 in the Mercy Thompson series. So, like the previous two books, I flew through this. It was a pretty quick read for me, so I just want to give a warning. There is a rape in this book. I wouldn't call it like a graphic scene, but it does happen. It is mentioned, it is talked about, and I believe it is mentioned in the later books as well. So if that kind of content bothers you or triggers you or you're sensitive to it, I would either proceed with caution or maybe not continue on with the series just to be on the safe side. So yeah. I would say I'm sorry, for giving that potential spoiler, but I wanted to get that warning out there, so yeah. So, plot. Z, Mercy's former boss and mentor, has been arrested for murder, a murder that she knows he did not commit. So far, it looks like the Fae have no intention on trying to help Z, because other things that I don't want to say because of spoilers. They're willing to let Z take this fall so that more attention isn't attracted to the Fae. Mercy is not cool with that, so she's determined to find who the real murderer is, regardless on if Z wants her to or not, regardless of the trouble this will get her into with the Fae. She does not want anything bad to happen to her friend. Also, there's that little situation between her, Samuel, and Adam. Both of them want to be with her, they want to be her mate, and she still needs to decide who she wants to be with. Because if she doesn't, while Samuel and Adam are doing a good job, not being at each other's throats like two dominant males usually would be, they're being as restrained as they can, and if she doesn't choose soon, that could boil over and could end in bloodshed and very, very likely death, which she understandably does not want. Oh, and one more little trigger warning I want to give that just popped into my head. I am so sorry. Suicide is also talked about quite a bit in this book. I know it's mentioned in some of the previous books, but I feel it's more prevalent in this one. So if you're triggered by mentions of suicide, also be wary. But yeah, that's my synopsis. I thought it was a good addition to the series. I did blow through this. It was a quick read for me. I was very into the story, and I like this series. I like Mercy as a character. I like Patricia Briggs' writing style. I like all the side characters. Just this world I greatly enjoy. And I am so excited to go on to the 4th book, which I believe is Bone Crossed, and I'm excited to keep reading. So with that said, I am going to go into a more spoiler bit, so if you do not want to be spoiled, I highly suggest you click by now and come back after you read the book. So I like seeing more of the Fae in this book. Fae are actually probably one of my favorite supernatural creatures, just because of all the lore on them, all the different types of Fae, and how the lore on each is so different. I love my werewolves, I love my vampires, I love my Nephilim and all that, but just the variety of the Fae is so enjoyable, and just the complexities and how careful you have to be when you're reading, because oh my god, they are tricky sons of bitches. I like kind of being able to get a better idea of how the Fae work in this world, and getting a bigger picture on the Grey Lords and just how feared they are. And you even get to see some of the Grey Lords. So now we have some faces to put to these mysterious, powerful Fae. I also like that we got to see more of Uncle Mike. I think he is an interesting character. I felt so bad for Mercy in this book for so many reasons. Not only was she assaulted by Tim and oh my god. I was getting emotional during the after effects as she's recovering from what Tim did, and Ben in his little speech explanation to Adam. That was getting me so emotional. But yeah, Mercy had to go through so much in this book, and my heart went out to her, and just, I don't know how to put this into proper words, but just after all this stuff she's been through, and just seeing her laid down so low after Tim assaulted her, it hurt. Just seeing this woman who is, in my opinion, strong. She's been through a lot, but she keeps picking herself up and brushing off these hard instances, brushing off these troubles as best as she can. And then just seeing her laid down so low afterwards was painful. Though it was nice to see that she was starting to pick herself back up again near the end. Good to see that she is gonna be fine. She's gonna have some rough patches. It's gonna take her a while, but it looks like she is going to be healed. Or maybe not healed. That might not be the best word. I don't know. But she's gonna make it through. And just speaking of Mercy after, when she is lied low, she doesn't even want to shift into human form. She is afraid. She is just her. The after effects, and Ben being nice to her. I mean, I feel like we didn't see a whole lot of him in the previous two books, and what we saw, he's kind of a jerk. He's kind of a douchebag. Sure, he is loyal to Adam and is willing to take a bullet for him, but he's still a douchebag. Especially to women. And he's very crude and just probably not someone you'd want to be friends with typically. But the fact that he was being nice to Mercy, and just that made me reassess my thoughts on his character. Especially when he was explaining to Adam, like, what was very likely going through Mercy's head. And him risking Adam, like, snapping at him for what he was saying and how he was behaving. That he cared enough to try and explain things. And even, like, giving not just Adam and Mercy, but us readers, a view into his past and what he has gone through. That got me so emotional, just seeing this jerkwad be vulnerable. Because he wants Adam to fully understand. He doesn't just care about Adam, he does care about Mercy too, in this situation. Just, I don't know, it's really made me reassess his character. Yeah, he's still an asshole, but it feels like it gives him that extra layer, for lack of better words. And I do like how Adam, from the get-go, was fully on, like, it wasn't Mercy's fault. It wasn't Mercy's fault. Even though he didn't completely understand, like, why she was acting. Just before he got that additional clarity that Ben gave him. How even then he was like, no, it's not her fault. It wasn't her fault. And then once he got that clarity, it just cemented his feelings even more. I don't know, just, Adam is a sweetheart. He's not perfect either, but he cares. He truly cares about Mercy. And it makes me so happy that they are the couple. He is the one that Mercy chose. And just moving on, I just gotta say I'm also glad that this love triangle between Mercy, Adam, and Samuel didn't last that long. It isn't something that's gonna be drawn out through all the other books. Because there's like, 9 books out right now, with the 10th coming out later this year. That'd be a long, drawn-out triangle that would drive me insane. And honestly, probably would take away from the series a little bit for me if it was drawn out that long. So I'm glad that that's resolved. There's no hard feelings between Samuel, Mercy, and Adam. Even Samuel's just like, yeah, you know what? Myself and my, wolfy aspects don't really see you as mate potential anymore. This wouldn't work out. It's cool. So I like, how that was handled. How, yeah, Mercy decided on who she wants to be with. And there's no hard feelings. There's no bitterness. There's just this mutual adult, mature understanding. Does Mercy still care for Samuel and vice versa? Heck yeah. I mean, she grew up with the guy. There will always be something there, but they'll be nothing more than packmates. They are not mate material. So I like that. There is one aspect of Mercy's character that kind of got to me a little bit, in this book especially. I know it's mentioned a bit in one or two of the previous two books, but now I feel like it was a little more prevalent, for lack of better words. Her thoughts on suicide, I can't agree with. Like, her foster father, when she was younger, committed suicide when his wife passed away. I think she was trying to go through the change and it didn't work, so he, in his grief, committed suicide. And she thinks it was very selfish of him, and just all those negative connotations that come with someone committing suicide, which, to be fair, from her point of view, I can't completely blame her for her feelings. She was really young still when it happened, leaving her completely alone. So I can understand her bitterness at her foster father's death, but I don't agree with her thoughts on suicide. I don't think it's selfish. So I don't know, just that aspect of Mercy's thoughts and feelings I am not a fan of. But I do like the fact that I'm not a fan of some part of her character. I feel it makes her more human. Just giving her this understandable but still like big imperfection that I don't like. Because as much as I love to adore characters and everything they think and do, to love a character and every aspect about them, I don't know, it just makes them seem too perfect. So I like the fact that there's some aspect of Mercy that I'm just like, you know, girl, I can't agree with that thought. I can't agree with that thought process of yours. So while I definitely don't agree with her feelings about suicide, though I understand them from her point of view, I mean, she just lost her foster mother, then immediately loses her foster father at a young age. She is left alone. She is a coyote in a wolf pack. There is no one else like her. She's alone, and she's young. So yeah, I get her bitterness, but I don't agree with it. And holy hell, that was a rambly explanation. Overall, I did enjoy this book. It was a good addition to the series. I very much look forward to reading further into the series, and yeah. There is not much else I can think of adding, so I'm going to stop myself here. For anyone who is still watching, what do you think? Were there parts of this book that you didn't like? Were there parts of books you loved? Do you agree with some of the things I said? Do you disagree? Was there something that I didn't talk about that you want to discuss? Let me know. Let's get a discussion going. And yeah, that is it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time.